Did you ever want to make your own Viking/medieval costume but think they were too difficult to make or too expensive to buy? Or do your kids/nieces and nephews/kids you babysit or babysat pre-pandemic want something to dress up in to go on imaginary adventures? Join us for a series on how to put together a super simple medieval Viking-inspired outfit for people who don't really know much about sewing, with only a sewing machine and straight lines. So, our first outfits are made with a medieval tea tunic, a tea tunic dress, and a Viking hood. We will follow that up with different ways to put them together and some more intermediate level tutorials for other items you can add to your wardrobe as well. So be sure to subscribe and follow us to learn more. Today's tutorial will cover everything you need to make the tea tunic dress, and the Viking hood. Suggestions and tips to make it easier, and everything you need to get ready to make the costume. Historical accuracy. The tea tunic and tea tunic dresses are both based on medieval styles, whereas the hood is based on Viking style, or Viking era style. And for people concerned about historical accuracy, the Vikings settled in Great Britain and Europe, and their influences were felt there for long after the Viking era ended, so these are based on history, just maybe not all the same era. What you will need. For this series, you will need your model, or models, or just your lovely self if you're making it for you, a tape measure for measuring, paper and pen or thread for writing down measurements, sewing machine and thread, material for sewing, and if you don't know how to thread it, somebody to thread it for you. Although most of them are pretty easy, and a lot of them even have directions on top, so that should be able to help you out as well. A meter stick or yardstick, a piece of chalk or something for tracing lines. I often use a Sharpie, but I highly recommend you do not do this, because if you make a mistake, yeah, not so good. Something for cutting. Scissors are fine, and they work really well, but if you happen to have one of these lovely boards and a cutter, they work way better and they're way easier, trust me. Although, I highly recommend you, if you are getting one, you get the one with the finger guard, because if you use the ones without, I have cut my fingers on them more times than I can count. So the finger guard comes in very handy, and I much prefer using that one. And the last thing you need is time to make the magic happen. If you are nervous about trying out your outfit, feel free to test it out first on something similar. My children all have dolls with Viking/medieval outfits that fit. I also have drawing figurines that work as test figures, so if you want to have matching outfits for dolls and children, feel free to try it on a doll first. Today's tip is material selection. Most important, do you want to sew seams around all the edges? If not, you're going to want to invest in some non-fraying material, non-woven, like fleece, like this. Lifesaver, if you don't mind about hems, it doesn't really matter. If you're looking for something historically accurate, go for natural materials, linen or linen blends, wool or wool blends, as wool does tend to be itchy. Silk is even an option, as the Vikings did travel over a third of the globe, including down to Constantinople and that area, so technically that would even be possible for historical accuracy, although some people like to argue that point. Looking for material but you don't want to spend a lot? Start at a thrift shop and look for curtain panels or sheets or tablecloths. These give you nice big pieces of material to start with, and it's good for the environment and budget friendly. Plus, you can often find linen, cotton wool, or other historically friendly materials, or ones that look historically friendly. Tip: focus on main components. If you don't have the time, patience, or energy, or the drive to do the whole thing, is this. Get yourself a hood, do some makeup, T-tunic, accessories, and pants. For pants, linen pants are often available in the spring and summer, and some people will wear plaid pajama pants because, Scotland, plaid. As for shoes, strappy sandals are great, but just make sure that your shoes don't advertise a name brand in the side because that always stands out in photo ops. So, if you have your model, your sewing machine, your material, your measuring tape, it's time to get started. So we'll see you in the next video to start on T-tunics. Don't forget to subscribe and follow for more. See you next time.